And we're off.
Yep, looks like PikaPals is deciding to start in Link's house, getting a piece of art here. Grabbing the little sign and making his way up to the uncle route. Probably gonna check the tier 1 tree pull here.
Okay, and Gem is off. We just had a bit of a stop there.
Yeah, it might be a little bit of a streaming problem on Gem's side or something, but we're pretty much almost synced up and ready to go. We see a nice fairy tree pull, if I saw that right, from Gem.
Wow. It looks like a red rang in the secret passage here.
And blue mail. Oh, well, that's not too bad.
Yeah, a nice safety item. Figure it's way better than big 20s or anything else you might find this early in the run.
Old man making you do his laundry with his last dying breath.
Can you drop these off at the dry cleaner? Oh, and what is that? My goodness. We got a hammer in the forest.
That's a super early hammer for these guys. Oh, geez. Not only important to get to a bunch of places, but also equal to tempered sword damage. Just a little bit of how do I say this? Less fortunate hitbox.
You're right. Yeah, it's a bit constrained in that way.
It looks like Lumberjacks has a heart container.
Hey,
I think we already... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
I was going to say, that's practically vanilla.
Yeah, true. We see Gem going down to the backside here of the tavern. Gonna try a select to see if he can find some bombs. Nope, finds a 20. Gonna spend his riches right away in the shop for 10 bombs.
Yeah, gonna definitely want to do this and make sure that he can get through a couple of the key spots here in the village. Otherwise, you're making the trip back whenever you find the bombs.
Yeah, and backtracking is never fun.
Indeed. Especially if you're feeling like your opponent probably doesn't have to do it. On that forest thief getting a die job on PikaPal's side from his Cerno sprite, if I'm remembering right.
Yeah, I think that's it. Alright, so PikaPals also making his way down into Kakariko Village. Will probably also buy bombs right away. So far, the only thing that they might wanna, or might have to leave behind is the bottle merchant, and I was gonna say sick kid, but Gem just found a first B-Torp.
Indeed. Gotta be in the well.
Wonder how that got down there.
Yeah, I thought you were supposed to throw coins in the well at rupees, but somebody decided they wanted to get their pet bee away. Let's see.
And from the looks of it, if Gem is a little bit lucky in here, or even if he just takes all the money from under the pots down in the bottom of the wall, he should be able to pay off the bottle merchant.
Yeah, he's gonna make 30 rupees out of this and also pick up a book and another bee.
Oh man, 2 B-Torps already.
And the bow!
Oh man, hammer and bow, let's go to pod directly.
Yeah,
Come on, that we don't have Dark World axes.
Yeah, or the Moon Pearl, but that's alright. We will probably see these runners push towards Eastern Palace, though. Technically requiring the lamp, but probably not too much of a deterrent for runners of this caliber.
Yeah, exactly. I'd be very surprised if either of our runners had any problems with any of the dark rooms.
The bottle vendor is selling his love.
Yeah, I mean, you always want to see progression items, but that is probably not the worst thing you can find early on in the game.
Yeah, no, there's been it's been kind of streaky, it would seem, day to day with whether or not the seed feels like getting you to a second row of hearts.
Yeah, we've seen quite a few stingy seats on the hearts front. That is true.
Look like just rupees in the library.
Yeah, someone hiding his life savings up there. A big 300.
Yeah. And just running right into the race game.
Yeah, you know, I've seen a couple of people do the race game blind lately, and I mean, it's not really a huge waste of time, and if it turns out to have something good, you're definitely saving time from having to walk back and then bomb open the wall and all that stuff.
Absolutely. And with it being so early, well, in one way, there's many places unchecked. There's also many good items left to pick up so soon. So, you know, I definitely a play I can get behind. And Gem exploiting the fact he can't swim to find out there's a red rupee on Lake Hylia Island.
Yep, just wanted to cool off a little, jump in the water real quick before he heads over to Eastern Palace.
Yeah, it's go time. But not go mode, of course. It's far too early for that.
Thankfully, Eastern Palace has a couple of arrows under a bunch of pots, because right now, that bow isn't helping Gem too much.
Not at all. Let's see what the old man Sahasrahla has. There you go, one arrow.
Oh, come on.
I heard you found a bow. You might need this. Thanks. Thanks.
Yeah, I mean, 1 is better than 0, but still.
Yeah. We'll see if he puts it to incredible use at some point. Whatever this first shot is for both of our players, it's really gonna count.
Yeah, that 1 arrow. It's gonna make all the difference, you just watch.
Misery Myers, the green pendant, we're finding out from PikaPals, being a bit more inquisitive than Gem in that way.
Yep, asking the old man where he lost his stuff.
Yeah, you can do that there to get the hint, and then you can also ask the bomb shop vendor, and he will tell you where crystals 5 and 6 are. Of course, at that point, you've been able to get both map checks, so...
Yeah, I'm a little surprised both these guys haven't given us a map check yet, but they're both heading into Eastern Palace, and even though we sadly can't hear their game audio right now on the restream, I'm gonna assume it's a crystal.
It's technically more likely, and especially since we know the green pendant is already taken.
Mm-hmm. I mean, it might not be, and they just opt to do this because with the equipment that they've got so far, they can fully clear it and, you know.
And chat confirming for us it is a crystal.
Alright, thank you, chat.
Yeah, you can, of course, tell by the music. And to answer Liusad, there is only one single arrow chest in the randomizer pool game. You have a chance of getting one when you go to play the treasure game in the Dark World as your first item, but that's just part of the treasure game there. And so you'll hear folks call that the validation arrow. And I'm not sure where it is in vanilla.
That's a good question, yeah, I don't really know. Alright, we see Gem using his first arrow shot and missing whatever the tentacle monster there is called.
Shucks.
Validation arrow going right into the wall.
Yeah, validated.
Oh.
Alright.
Alright, let's see what vanilla big key chest has for us. Jeez, that's a tongue twister.
Yeah, nothing huge coming out of here for now, and continues to remain that way.
Yeah, just a piece of heart. I've seen bombs. I've seen that piece of heart. Have we found the third item in here yet?
I don't think so, which means it should be on Armos.
Yeah, it must be at this point. So we'll see. Gem decides to take on the quote-unquote hardest dark room in Eastern Palace. Oh, gets a very nice 10 arrow drop. And there goes the key Igor.
Yep, using that bow now to play a little echolocation, get his way over to that door. It's a little tricky in the back here, but he gets it done.
Oh, apparently the Armos has the burrito, so we must have seen 3 items already. If chat is to be believed.
Yeah, I guess we'll see an item switch here. Oh yeah, the map is left, so...
Oh, okay, yeah.
Yeah, I guess the other one must have just been an item refill or something.
Yeah, equally worthless concerning progression as the other items were in here, so... Only good for a crystal.
PikaPals letting the bee roll.
Oh, that is the perfect way to use those, especially since he already has 2, so, you know.
Yeah, still has one do a chase off ahead in a blind fight. Oh, or is that 2? And there it is. At just under 12 minutes, our first crystal of the match for Gem, and PikaPals will be close behind after besting that dark.
Yep, very quick first crystal, though. That doesn't necessarily mean anything yet.
Right. Eastern being one of the dungeons with very few entrance and completion requirements, and they happen to, for the most part, be fulfilled. This should not have been cleared when it was by the logic without the lamp, but the lamp may already be freely available somewhere.
Yeah, I mean, Gem just now making his way to the south side of Hyrule decides to go from right to left, apparently, with that book in hand. I don't really blame him.
Yeah, it's going to be perhaps a smarter way to route this, given the entrance to Desert Palace.
Yep, exactly. They are still lacking a fire source to complete it. Oh, 2 bees.
Yeah, and it's a bee party in the mini Moldorm cave. And he's gonna let 2 arrows fly, and they strike true as the bees join. Oh, bees for boots in this case.
Very nice.
All right, and that's about it for that cave, but that's definitely a great find.
Except for that bomb upgrade, I'm gonna call this the Red Cave.
Right.
Oh, and with the boots in hands, he decides, alright, might be worth checking over to Ice Rod Cave. Don't want to leave that behind until I find the flute or something.
Right, yeah, this new mobility definitely ends up making this a more reasonable play than it might have been without it.
Just has to watch out for those deadly crabs.
Indeed. Nasty 2 hearts of damage in the green mail. And he hasn't gone the secret passage yet to get his blue. And there goes Bombos.
Alright, our first medallion. We don't know yet if it is needed, but it's definitely a good find.
Yeah.
The
And it
only
would be...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's the only medallion that has an actual use outside of just opening dungeons.
Indeed, and I was going to remark it would be fitting for where that was located if we would end up having to clear Ice Palace with Bombos.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, we're seeing the water walking here from Gem.
Yeah, very nice setup for him. Gonna clear out the waterfall fairy. Sadly, only gets a piece of heart and $100 for it, but you know, getting that out of the way, always a good feeling. He can also, I think, at least check the ledge item. I'm not sure if you can actually get it.
Well, that's what I was wondering, because he made a setup of it here that was a bit different, and it looks like, based on his rupee count and his turning away, that he at least isn't aware of the fact of him having stored an extra one, and I don't think he did.
Yeah, I'm not 100% sure, to be honest. He might have just opted to not get a piece of heart and waste the time to walk all the way over there, but...
Right. True. But yeah, this you don't see quite as often. The water walk up to Hobo. And you get $50 for the trick.
This guy lives under the bridge, but he can still give away $50.
Yeah. He's just eccentric, it turns out.
Yeah, maybe he likes it there. I mean, whenever you go there, he looks pretty relaxed.
Yeah, I mean, meanwhile, Gem's literally running so fast he can walk on water. He's got to be, a little worked up, to say the least.
100 cups of coffee.
Meanwhile, PikaPals diverging from Gem here in going to Hyrule Castle basement, putting those boots to use on all these straightaways. You gotta love it. Giving that guard a whack.
Yeah, no chance at all for that poor guard.
Yeah.
Oh, that green guard gets his revenge, though. At least pokes him once with the sword. Alright, let's see what soggy item we get from the dam today.
Ooh. Apparently there's clams in the dam. You get left behind the moon pearl.
We will definitely take that.
For sure. Gonna need it.
Okay, and Pika made his way down here, so let's see if there's anything good in the cell. Man.
Yeah, that's a bummer. But a check that one ought to make at some point.
Yeah,
We'll
absolutely.
probably see Gem do it, and maybe only a bit faster for an eventual loadout. But what's a Gina got? Equally as valuable. 3 bombs.
Yeah, not very great. And now PikaPals is gonna check his dam stuff, gonna grab his moon pearl, and then probably make his way over to Desert himself.
Indeed.
Power glove.
A somewhat vanilla power glove there, hanging out just outside of its normal location.
Well, if he finds a fire source in here, that suddenly means he can clear out Desert Palace.
Indeed. And chat, do us a solid and let us know what the music is when we get in here.
Yeah, these guys really refusing to check their maps.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Apparently not.
As he smashes the end. And we're getting confirmation it's Crystal in Desert Palace. A slight mislead by the well-trained ferret, wanting to say it was Sandstorm.
Sadly, I don't have a sword in this channel, or you would be banned, good sir. I'm just kidding, of course.
And Dude invokes his similarly named emoji in response. There goes Quake, which will not help us open the entry to the boss, but puts us a little bit closer to complete ease of mind when it comes to what might be a play in either Mire or Turtle Rock.
Yeah, and with Mire being the green pendant, I'm a little scared for these guys.
Right. I got the big key on the torch.
Yep, that leaves one more chest you can check, namely the big chest, of course.
And it's the map. So the Lambos have the item, if I counted right, and they're gonna have to wait to come back for it.
Gonna make his way out of this exit here, grab his power glove, and then we'll have to see where he decides to go next.
Yeah, probably gonna see the save quit here, and then, I guess we've got the back of escape with the glove now.
Yeah, true. That's a good place to check three chests, and if they're comfortable enough and find a key, they might as well check the Dark Sewers chest.
Indeed.
Oh, but it looks like Gem is immediately making his way to the Dark World once to check
Oh,
out what
yeah,
Hype Cave has.
Right. Glove, hammer, and pearl. I didn't put that together earlier.
Yeah, I completely blanked on that too. It just came to me as I saw him dashing to this warp here.
And here goes a map check. Red pendant on Skullwoods, blue pendant on Ice, Crystal 6 was Thieves Town.
Yeah, so that means, well, by the looks of it, they already got Crystal 5 from Eastern Palace. Thanks to our tracker again for immediately realizing that. And here goes Hype Cave.
Alright, starting off a bit lame, but we'll get there. Won't we? Oh, the other male upgrade and a third B.
Oh man, is this going to be the second seed I see where there are 4 B-Torps?
I hope so.
Alright, so red mail pretty easily available for both the runners as soon as Gem decides to check out the way down to... Wait, was it down there? Where did he find blue?
It was at the secret passage. The uncle gave it to him.
Yeah, that's where it
said,
was.
one last chore before I go. But I really got to applaud these guys having really nice movement with the boots without the sword as Gem dashes up to get Ether off of Stumpy.
Well, that's an early 3 medallion, so that's a worry they don't really have anymore, I guess.
Yeah, they'll know they'll be able to get around to whatever they need to.
And with 581 rupees, Gem has exactly enough to pay Alec Baldwin and then still go to Zora.
Right.
Though I wouldn't be surprised to maybe see him dip into Pod.
Yeah, having everything but the lantern to make that completely doable. I mean, these guys were in the finals in our other tournament, so wouldn't be surprised to see them tackling dark rooms like PikaPals is now. And a big blue rupee for all the digging. Yikes.
Yeah, but with everything else he dug up, he still came out positive. Only 17 rupees positive, but still.
Yeah, hey, it's better than no rupees positive.
Alright, now Gem is following PikaPals down to the back part of Escape. Gonna check out 3 chests and then probably also make his way through the Dark Sewers.
Yeah, you definitely don't want it to come back and bite you.
Gets a little trolled by those rats. Really wishes he had a sword for all those dashes.
Yeah. And it looked like nothing much in that chest. It's a play they're going to be want to make before they end up forgetting it. As I say that, and Gem quits. He's probably get a high 5 on the way out of the bonk rocks here. Find a blue ring.
Alright, all medallions, both boomerangs. What is this seed?
Well, it just means we won't see either Rod or Kane for a long time, I guess, right? Because we also got the males.
Oh yeah, we also got all the males already. Jeez.
Yeah.
And it looks like PikaPals wants that 3 hundos that he saw earlier in the library to almost fill out his Zora money.
Makes sense.
And it looks like Gem might want to check out maybe Skull Woods, maybe Village of Outcasts and Thieves Town. I mean, if he does finish up Thieves Town, which he totally can with the hammer in hand, he will already have access to the Pyramid Fairy.
Yeah, that seems like a pretty strong play. I mean, I know that you know, the popular conventional wisdom at this point is get into Pendant Skullwoods whenever you can. and we saw that come into play in a race earlier today even. But you know, I guess this check is pretty quick overall, and then you've got the time and kind of the routing, I guess, to work your way out of Thieves Town to the bomb shop.
Yep.
And we're going to see a little bit of convergence as PikaPals is thinking the same thing.
Yeah, keeping the meme alive. Skullwood's always holding.
Yep.
And Gem found the big key and a small key, which makes this routing here very, very nice.
Yeah, you gotta love it being able to just get in here and grab this. You wish it wasn't a burrito, but oh well.
Oh, he gets trolled by the mini Moldorm into the hole. Still gets to where he wants to go, but loses a heart in the process.
Oh, and there are silvers.
Oh man, early bow and silvers.
Yeah, a check worth making.
Alright, though that means for both of our runners that, well, there's still one chest left that they can check, but... Pika grabbing his burrito.
We're gonna see nice shooting from Gem there to put the hurt on those Gibdos.
Yeah, and I assume setting up his death warp back from the room upstairs here. Needs to be a little careful. Gives the Wallmaster 1-4 with a silver arrow in the face.
How would you like a splinter?
The thumb, I guess, in his case.
Yeah. Just a compass here.
Alright, so that means everything they can check right now has been checked in Skullwood, at least from Gem. I think PikaPals decided to not go into the back yet.
And the mirror there in the sea house.
That's also a very nice find. Meanwhile, we get Gem checking the bumper cave ledge, which I don't think PikaPals has checked.
No, I don't think so, but just 20 rupees up there. And chat pointing out that it's more than a meme in Skullwoods, and it's true. When those chests are basically free coming into the Dark World, they actually do have a somewhat higher percentage chance of containing some progression because they're available, basically.
Yep, and PikaPals just picked up his Ice Rod from the chest game.
Oh, wow.
So that's a very nice find. I mean, if you want to find a rod, you usually want to find the Fire Rod, but the Ice Rod is the one that can troll you really badly.
Right. There is only one thing that's absolutely required for in the game, and so it can be any time before that. And that, of course, being your Trinex fight in Turtle Rock, which is a crystal in this match.
Yep. PikaPals making his first dip in a Thieves Town. I don't think he's found anything of importance yet. Gem was thinking about it for a second, but is gonna check the chess game first to grab his Ice Rod. Opening the same chest that PikaPals opened. Interesting. Oh, and there's our lamp, so no more dark rooms for these guys. Oh man, you can really see the quality of these runners. I'd personally be very scared to get in here with only 6 hearts, despite them having blue mail already.
Right, this is it can be a tough dungeon. There's at least one room in here that's got a bunch of spike traps in it too, and they don't care what mail you're wearing.
Mm-hmm.
Pika showing just what we mean here. Having to be extra careful.
Yeah, makes it through our heckway pretty nicely. Needs to watch out for those crickets now. I don't think I've ever seen that first cricket up there behind the crystal switch blocks. Hammers one of them for good measure.
Why not? Oh, wow. Oh, I was going to say, Gem just sneaking and dancing up that hallway.
Yeah, almost made it through all the way, but half a heart of damage, still pretty good.
Oh, yeah.
And our runners right at the moment aren't really too far apart at all. I mean,
And now a little bit of a high five there, getting up and down the stairs.
the only item advantage, if you even want to call it an advantage right now, is the ether medallion that Gem already has.
Right, and since it's on Stumpy, it's likely to be grabbed by PikaPals at some point soon.
Yeah, especially now that he has the mirror, I wouldn't be surprised to see him go down to the digging game and then do the mirror spot south of Grove and then check Stumpy, so...
Would be a smart route for sure.
And you see the blind maiden with a nice blue dress here for a change.
Right. And that heart piece giving PikaPals a timely refill, though he was not hurting for much.
Yeah, still, an extra heart and full health for the blind fight, definitely something you want to have.
Indeed. It would only be more useful if they had sword beams, but quite alright as he begins to stop Hammerblind.
And doing an absolutely fantastic job so far. Ooh, yeah, needs to be a little careful here. Oh boy.
And if there were only something else... Oh, there he goes. He gets it down. One heart left, clutches it out. Very nice.
If you can help it in any way, I know it's not really an easy thing to do sometimes, but if you can help it in any way, you want to get hit by the fireballs in this fight instead of blind himself or the heads.
Right. Yeah, they do a set smaller amount of damage. For the most part, the hitting blind just really hurts. There's equal outcomes there for Gem. One heart for the finish.
Oh, the runner's making it real clutchy here.
Yeah. And PikaPals making the plays you described earlier. Gonna go check out this digging game, get his, probably make his money back.
Yeah, we'll see if he'll have the same digging luck that Gem did. So far, he's getting a lot of magic.
Yeah. Huh. After a while, he'll get to this blue rupee and then still be in good shape for Zora. He's going to try to get off screen, yep, in order to avoid a text box, which of course just costs him time.
Yeah, now here we see Gem checking out Graveyard Ledge and probably King's Tomb afterwards.
Yeah, he'll be able to mirror into there rather than taking the traditional Titan's Mint route.
Mm-hmm. Oh, and there's a cape.
Yep, at south of Grove, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, both the runners checking different mirror spots right now. Probably just on their way to their next dungeon, I'd assume.
Seems good.
Now PikaPal's gonna pick up his last medallion. That's gonna be a weight of his shoulders too. Not gonna have to worry. And just a piece of heart and the King's Tomb. Oh, looks like PikaPals wants to immediately find out what's on the Bombo's tablet. can read it, he can't get it yet because he doesn't have a sword, much less a master sword.
Indeed. But at least he knows he doesn't have to come back for it later. Unless he's truly hurting for some bombs. But that would just be absurd.
And are we seeing Gem do the same thing? I'm amazed. Nope. He is gonna check that mirror spot down here, I'm gonna assume.
Right. And each of our players running an errand before they make this bomb buy, probably. It would be sorely disappointing if the Pyramid Fairy does not pay off, but then it is random and not necessarily breadcrumbed.
Yeah, let's hope she's got something good. You see PikaPals being the first one to pick up their red mail.
Yep.
Yeah, and we're gonna get a high five in the bomb shop, I think.
Yep. And high five.
Oh, this is such an annoying walk if you don't have a hook shot or the Aggle Warp or anything really. And
Right.
And without a sword and just a hammer, it's even a little more annoying than it would usually be.
Yeah, you're mostly unable to really effectively deal with the enemies coming in. Yeah. You get $20 on the pyramid. What's in the pyramid? Big money and arrows.
Oh, that's disappointing.
All right, we're gonna check. What does the fairy give you when you throw in the bottle?
Yeah, Pika chancing his luck. Let's see what he gets back.
Blue goo. Hey, that's nice.
Oh, that's
That'll
very nice.
be just supposing it's hard times on the Ganon fight for some reason. Wouldn't expect it from these runners, but that could be a huge bailout.
I was really hoping she'd give him a B back.
That would have just been the best. Oh man. Can she give you a fairy in a bottle?
I think she can, yeah. I think she can give you pretty much everything that can go in a bottle.
That's pretty funny.
I'm not 100% sure on that one, and I'm sure
Yeah, here,
chat
take
will
the-
correct me.
Take this intern. Gem kind of pulling ahead now on the way out the pod.
Yeah, it's really a back and forth with these guys.
Yeah, I think the only difference at this point was Gem hadn't gone to the secret passage, and so in a certain way it means that PikaPals is actually running a bit faster, but with the only real worth out of there being red mail, and you know.
Yeah, it's no
Not a huge
progression
deal.
item.
Yeah, pod's fully completable, and so we fully expect to see 2 Helmasaur fights happen probably seconds apart here.
Yeah, now that they got the lantern, they don't even have to worry about dark rooms anymore, so should be absolutely no issue for both of our runners here. Oh, and there's our second rod. So, fire rod early on in the vanilla big key chest and pod. That's gonna make them very happy now. If they do find the Cane of Samaria somewhere in here or very soon, they'll already have access to Turtle Rock and be able to finish it completely. They even have a cape for the laser bridge, so it's not even any sort of logic break. Gem making short work of those mimics with the silvers. Beautiful dash through that spike room.
Yeah, it's a tough one to line up.
Yeah, I have my own little thingy, but it's much slower than what these guys do.
Right. And half magic there. Very nice.
Oh, yeah, also a very nice find. PikaPals grabbing his fire rod. Right, and off to the business part of this dungeon we go. Even though I'd say this time the moniker doesn't really fit too well.
Right. Yeah, we had our fire rod up in the Vanilla Big Key location, so just party all around.
Here's the not so dark anymore maze.
Quite. And our first shield of the match.
Good old Fisher Price shield.
So that's 3 items out. Oh, 4 items out of here with the flippers. Wow.
Oh man, this dungeon is loaded.
Yeah, I think the worst thing here so far has been maybe the shield, and that's, you know, endless shovel there. Huh.
Ooh, fetch quests.
Which, with the cape, technically the mirror shield won't end up being required, but the shield can be a sort of progression item in the logic if the cape and the Cane of Burna are hidden.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so all 5 items in pod being relatively huge.
Yeah, and relatively early on too, or at least well spread out compared to what we usually see in here.
Yeah, as you were saying, normally business up front, party in the back, but it was just, yeah, I don't know, I guess pod had bedhead today or something. Dungeon transforms before our eyes.
This wait time. It is
Right.
awful.
Yeah, it's apparently just as long as the Misery Mire one, but because you see stuff moving, I don't know. It never felt quite as long.
Yeah, and to be fair, I also feel like the Misery Mire one is an awful wait.
Right.
And
They both are, for sure.
yeah, and it's even worse when you're playing a race at the moment because you're like, come on, let's go. I gotta go fast. Oh, why is this taking so long?
Yeah, the only comfort there, of course, being it's crystal, so at least you know your opponent has to do this. Whereas if you do this in a pendant pod, you're like, oh, there's an item on Helmasaur. Well, great, but the other guy might not do it.
Yeah, that is even worse. That's true.
Yeah. But yeah, just moments apart now, Gem and PikaPals. Pretty solid turtle room from PikaPals here. I mean, Gem didn't really struggle with it, but Pika seemed to really burn right through it.
Yeah, and it's not as easy as it looks, especially if you only got the hammer, because these guys can, I don't know, it feels like they decide what they want to do depending on the moon phase.
Right. The range at which they'll flip back over from a hammer strike seems dubious at best. This Gem shows you silver arrow, green jewel, goodbye Helmasaur.
Yep, one silver arrow to the dome, and off you go.
Indeed. And just seconds after, PikaPals with the same.
Yeah, not very far apart at all. As Gem's crystal animation finishes, PikaPals grabs his pod crystal, so let's see if the sync keeps up or if they decide to do something different. They can get into Ice Palace now.
Yeah, with wait, no mitts.
Oh right, no mitts.
Yeah,
That's what it was.
I often forget about that myself.
Yeah, they've gotten so much stuff already. I figured, no, they probably have the mitts already. Okay, and Jam now on his way to pick up his red mail, so we've got total item parity in a second here.
Indeed.
Oh, and it looks like Pika wants to make his way up Death Mountain. That's a pretty good
Oh
play.
yeah, another one of those. Oh, I guess they must have done that already, right? No, having lacked the lamp and not wishing to sequence break so hard. Gem fires a warning shot and leaves the secret passage.
Yeah, it looks like he wants to make his way down to Zelda Cell 2, so it's gonna cost him a little bit of time, but you know, you don't want to leave that stuff behind. It's accessible pretty much from the get-go.
Right. As I've heard it said, it's not a bad play, it's just the wrong one for this seed.
Yeah.
Easier for us to call here from having seen PikaPals go down there already.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, as spectators, we have a much easier job telling where these guys need to go than they have themselves.
And there's a sword on Spectacle Rock.
Oh, wow.
And the powder inside.
Alright, we'll probably want both of those.
Yeah.
Well, thankfully they just found the mirror, so this sword isn't gonna taunt them forever.
Right. That would just be the worst, right? Well, it was like a 46-minute sword-ish. I mean, we saw it.
Yeah, but we couldn't actually get it until an hour and 30 minutes in.
Right. But no, we'll probably see that pick up, and then, and Pika checked Bombos earlier, right? He actually just read the tablet, so we'll probably see him read Ether as well.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised.
And then head into Hera.
Yeah, gonna head into Hera, and then he can make his way over to Spiral Cave and check the east side of Death Mountain.
Right, having the hammer, being able to cross that bridge. And then we can actually, we can definitely finish Desert at some point. And with an item there, I wonder if that'll bump it up on the priorities for either of our runners.
Oh yeah, very true. And they also, as chat pointed out earlier, they can also make their way into Swamp if they want to.
Oh yeah, they can get in and maybe find a somewhat vanilla hook shot in order to finish. Stranger things have happened.
Indeed. Alright, item number 1 in Hera is only a red rupee down in the basement.
Oh boy.
And you see a little bit of camera misalignment here from PikaPals. That happens if you go down the stairs and immediately back up. Nothing too bad, but oh boy. And it's also basement locked, so Hera not giving them any breaks, except for this little coffee break here.
Right. Breaks only in the literal sense.
And there we go. Pika just gonna wait out the tiles flying at him with his iframes that he gets from standing on those crystal switch blocks.
Yep.
Oh, and it looks like Gem wants to immediately finish up Desert. That's interesting.
I dig it. I mean...
Yeah, I mean, you might as well get it out of the way. It's definitely not a bad play, just a different choice.
Yeah, and with Meyer just being a pendant, you don't know that you'll need to get over there, so we'll see. And chat asking what the dig item was, but nobody's checked it yet, so...
Oh, both have. It was 5 rupees, remember?
Oh, no. Wait, the digging game or the dig location?
No, the digging game.
Oh, I was talking about the dig location.
Oh, okay. Yeah,
Yeah,
I'm stupid.
okay. Oh, no. We just misunderstood. You're not stupid.
There's a surprising amount of digging in this game.
Yeah, and I can dig it. Womp. I mean, it is tough to keep up sometimes when the runners shovel this information at us. PikaPal's going for his bomb jump here. Earns him a compass out of the big chest.
Yeah, so as far as I'm aware, that means Trolldorm will have the last item, Tower of Hera.
I think so. We'll get a chance to double check that if PikaPals goes for hammer strats here. Gem is dashing his way toward the Lambo 1 fight. And you know, he did that menu so quick, I didn't get a chance to check. But we'll find out now. $50.
Alright, so Tower of Hera.
Oh, and Gem with the 0 on the Lambo 1 fight.
Yeah, very beautiful.
For the hook shot! Ooh.
Oh, man. So...
He'll have a bit of an easier time routing Death Mountain, I think.
Yeah, well, that might actually not be that great for him, because if he's coming from the east side, he might... Well, he's definitely going to check Spectacle Rock, but being already up to the Tower of Hera entrance means he'll have to make a little detour to actually grab that.
Well, I guess that's true.
But we'll see.
Yeah, who knows if he ends up with swords on the east side here. But it looks like with hookshot in hand, he's thinking, time to do swamp.
Yeah, Gem apparently.
Ooh, in the midst.
Oh man, that's a huge find.
Yeah, okay, now I will say for certain that having the hookshot before coming up here ends up paying off.
Mm-hmm.
Spiral Cave mitts, that's first time in a while I've seen the Spiral Cave have a progression item.
Yeah, it's been a lot of art pieces and 20 rupees and assorted stuff like that.
Yeah. Pika gonna be able to check 7 chests here in Paradox Cave. First 2 duds, 5 more to go though. And there it is.
A cane.
Some kind of cane.
Alright, so that means PikaPals is gonna do Turtle Rock now, right?
Right, he's got everything. Oh my. Thinking about that now, whenever Gem gets up here, just if it ends up, yeah, like as Aknaboker has put in the chat, go mode on the mountain. Like basically, like everything is here. And actually, I think in fact, like it's basically one more sword upgrade and go.
Yeah, pretty much. I mean, they already got the silver, so Master Sword won't bother them too much if that's what they end up having to use at the end.
Yeah, wow.
Oh, but also as chat was just pointing out, PikaPals making that dip in here without the hook shot. Not the worst, you can still get everywhere, but the torch room will be a little bit longer than usually.
Right. And it also means, of course, that he'll have to get back down and get that hook shot. Thankfully, it's on a crystal dungeon boss, so it's going to be difficult for him to miss it. Oh no, having to do a little jig to get around the berries here.
Yeah, these guys control you so hard here. Usually they stay out of your way, but sometimes they just really have it out of you.
Yeah. Yeah, wow, what a Death Mountain. Basically lines itself up to just finish the game.
Yeah, it's quite crazy. I mean, Gem is gonna grab his crystal here, and since I don't think he'll find anything substantial, I mean, what's the worst?
Pika letting out the frustration as he goes the way he's used to on the track here. But I'm sorry, you were saying.
I was just gonna say, I'm thinking, what's the worst that Gem could find here that might mislead him? And I think it can only be the flute, and even that won't mislead him too far, probably.
Right, because even without the sword, he can't quite get into Misery Mire.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, he's kind of got a certain weird armor about him now. Where probably his next play is going to be Death Mountain, and it's going to be a huge play for him.
Yeah, it's going to be absolutely big. The only thing I'm a tiny bit worried for is, going to the right side first, and then making his way up, and then he probably wants to do Hera before checking Spiral Cave, which is not a bad thing, but it's just a little weird to route to grab all the items in an efficient way up there.
Right.
Here we have the worst boss in the whole game, the menu boss.
Yep. Thankfully, he's got a pretty decent loadout for making this relatively easy. Of course, if you have holes in your menu, sometimes things can get weird. It's a thing of beauty, though, to see it done well. If not a bit esoteric compared to the way people usually play the game.
Yeah, it's just, it's beautiful to watch. It's just a pain to actually do it.
Oh, for sure. He's got the rhythm. You see him taking advantage of the the wraparound on the menu. And even just without missing a beat, getting that last menu in, lining up the shot, and down goes Argus. Nice fight.
One silver arrow to the big goopy eye. And there's crystal number 4 for Gem, and really... Oh, that's actually crystal number 5. I'm good at counting.
That, the blind one in there, apt as that is, it does kind of blend in somehow.
Yeah, it's because it's like sandwiched in between two pendants.
Yeah, I think that must be it.
Well, okay, the downside of this is for Gem, he is gonna full clear Swamp, which he definitely doesn't need to.
Right.
The upside is, though, he can route it in a way that he does Tower of Hera last if he manages to do so and do Spiral Cave first, which means all he has to do is, walk over from the Turtle Rock Orb, mirror back in front of Tower of Hera, and then he can just mirror right to the entrance of Ganon's Tower. Also,
yeah, talk about convenience.
Wasn't Gem the one with the save file name skip left side? Come on, Gem. I really don't blame him, though. You don't want to take that risk.
Well, no, and especially when he's swordless about an hour in. Like, you're like, well, I gotta get places. I gotta find a sword. There's curtains, maybe, or at the very least, a cannon fight.
Yeah, and there's medallions to use, too.
Yeah, not to mention. Gonna have to put that Quake to work to get inside of Turtle Rock. Yeah, and chat also lamenting that Gem not living up to his left side skip. Which I think as he typed it in before said left skip. So I guess he's skipping the left skip.
Yeah, I mentioned that to him on IRC, but I don't think he noticed. I'm pretty sure it was meant to be a left side skip, but
almost certainly. I know that's one of his MOs.
Maybe he was trying to do a song cover, Skeet and all that.
Whoa. But yeah, so we got Laser Bridge now. We got our key. PikaPal's gonna check the rest of these, not knowing what we know, that being the hookshot location.
Yeah, and still looking for that sword upgrade too, so...
Right. Now, that would be something if it ends up being on this bridge, because it means that when Gem gets here, even if there aren't any... Oh, nope. But if there hadn't been anywhere else, he would have been able to just basically progress and end up in go mode.
Oh, this reminds me, did we see PikaPals do Mimic Cave?
I missed it?
Yeah, I don't remember it at least, which, you know, doesn't really mean anything, but... Alright, Gem gonna read the Bombos tablet just to make sure. Nope, proving me wrong immediately. Oh, okay. Our tracker dude here telling us that he did do Mimic Cave.
Yeah, shoutouts to dude.
It's always good to have someone who actually pays attention to the match instead of just talking about it all the time.
Alright, looks like... Oh, rip Stumpy. Oh, and a plus 10 arrow, but he's gonna skip it.
2 digs, Gem.
Oh.
Sorry, I have to point that out.
That's alright. Alright. PikaPal's pulling off the quick switch in the first phase of Trinex here to not have to wait for the explosion to finish to fight the Ice Head.
Yeah, now Gem is indeed making his way up Death Mountain, so that's a very, very good choice for him.
Yeah, this is going to be huge.
I'm really curious how he routes this, because if he routes it in a way that nobody would ever route it, he will be in a super good position.
Right. PikaPal's putting that hammer to work on this second phase of Trinex. Takes him down. Very solid fight. Just not easy to get in there with the hammer with its stumpy hitbox.
Mm-hmm.
There's our 4th bottle on Trinex. Some red goo. Much needed usually after a fight with him.
Not a B-Torp. Boo.
Right, yeah, breaking the B streak. So that is quite disappointing.
Alright, so Gem is going right side first. Nope, can't lift that yet, Gem.
No, not quite yet.
You're almost there, but
Yeah.
not quite.
Yeah, so if he goes up Paradox, into Hera... Oh, there's the sword upgrade in Super Bunny.
Oh, man.
Oh, man.
Well, what I think he needs to do is go up here through Paradox, jump down to Spiral Cave, go into the Dark World, check everything here, mirror back to T-Rock entrance, open that up, go over to Tower of Hera, or finish off Turtle Rock, I guess, and then go over to Tower of Hera. The thing is, I don't think he'll do Spiral Cave before he finishes Tower of Hera, which is not the worst, it's just, you know...
Right, being...
Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, I was just gonna expound on that and say, if he would find the mitts just, like, 1 item sooner, he probably would. But then, yeah, since they're actually at the end of Spiral Cave, it seems less likely.
Oh, we see PikaPals going for that Spike Cave play.
Yeah. And to answer a question in chat, asking why we call that cave Super Bunny Cave. There's a glitch in the game we call Super Bunny, because when Link's in his bunny form, he can't really do much of anything except for run around and use the mirror. But in the Japanese 1.0 version of the game, which the randomizer is based off of, you can basically exploit some screen transitions to gain those abilities back as the bunny. In particular, in that cave, you basically get it for free from the drop. Since you come in, you go up the stairs, and when you fall, from what I understand, that basically automatically activates it. And that allows you to push blocks and open chests and things like that.
Yeah, that's pretty much how it works from what I understand. You can also do it in, say, the Mire Shed area, but what you need to do there is use the mirror in the same frame you enter the Mire Shed, and then you'll enter it and be a Super Bunny, which is basically, as you just explained, a bunny with all the abilities that Link has.
Oh, Jem gets trolled off his coffee break here. And he's going to take a little bit of abuse from these tiles, but he is baiting them onto the pegs.
Very nice.
An interesting strategy. We'll have to guess what his bonk count is by the end of the run now. We'll check that on the credits. All right, and seeing the Northeast Light World play from PikaPals here, gonna pick up a little bit of money, and Jem gonna very carefully trod through the Moldorm room. Gets a bonus kill for lighting those torches. Takes a death warp back to the start.
Yeah, a little bit slower than the mirror, but it does refill some of his heart, so
yeah,
no good choice to make here. We're getting our first Zora check. We already know we can't really have anything too fancy, and it's only 10 arrows.
Right. It's like, no, but see, they're silver. He's like, yeah, but they're not silver because of anything you did. Yeah, but they're silver. Overpriced arrows.
Oh, indeed.
But all right. Jem taking advantage of his loadout there to safely cross that gap.
Yeah, and PikaPals is checking more and more of the overworld. I can't really say I blame him, but he really needs to make that desert play.
Yeah, it's literally the only thing he needs to do right now. He'll give him the hook shot, a 6th crystal, and then he can go mode swamp.
Yeah, which is definitely a pleasure to do, but it looks like he might want to do swamp first.
Oh, I hope not.
I don't know, he's going over to... Is he going to Ice Palace?
Oh no.
Oh, I don't think he's checked the Ice Rod Cave yet. Oh,
Huh.
wait. Oh boy, are you going to Ice Palace? Please don't, Pika.
That looks like what he's doing. Oh, that's unfortunate.
Oh, man.
Alright,
and Jem is doing everything in his power to not see the Spectacle Rock item.
oh, come on, see it. Go look.
There you go.
Go look. There it is. Go get it. Alright.
Alright, very nice.
Alright, so he's gonna get this sword, and then if he does what we expect, he'll go down Spiral Cave, he'll say, oh good, mitts, I need these. And then go right back around the loop on Death Mountain.
Oh, he's gonna grab his powder too? Okay. Or at least see that it's there.
Yeah, we'll see what he thinks of it. Ah, he says yes.
Sure.
So in an hour and what? That was like 8 minutes.
Yep.
Jem gets his first sword. It'll probably be just a little bit before he gets his next one.
Yeah, I really do hope he does Spiral Cave next.
Looks like he's at least doing that, or maybe thinking of Spike. But I can't imagine he won't go back up and do Spiral. Like, it's right there.
I mean, I really hope so, but this is usually at least a spot where people save and quit out of, so...
Right.
I mean, he might just end up right back on Death Mountain, even if he does save and quit.
Right, he could go to Old Man. We'll see. We're rooting for him to get that Titan Smith soon, though.
Come on, Jam, go to the mountain.
There
Yes.
he goes. All right. Walking right out, saying, bye, Grandpa. And
Yeah.
all right. All is well.
Yep, making his way over to the right side. Not even getting a hearts refill from the old man. But,
Yeah, he's
I mean,
gotta go.
gotta go fast. And also, there's the bonk rocks up there that have a fairy under them, so you might just opt to grab that if he so chooses.
It'd be a solid move for sure.
Meanwhile, PikaPals making his way through Ice Palace. He has found the big key and a red rupee. I don't really know what he could grab out of here. I mean, the flute maybe, or maybe another sword upgrade.
Yeah, I was wondering about that too, because we'll probably see Gem skip Hookshot Cave, because at this point, there's just nothing good there.
Yeah, I mean, if he grabs those Titan Smiths, that's definitely go mode for him, so he won't care about nothing.
Yeah, on the other hand, if PikaPals finds Flute, then he might try to go into there.
Well, I mean, flute will probably be the best item to find in here for PikaPals, because that might lead him back over to Desert.
Yeah, that's interesting. That's like a bit of a double-edged sword, but yeah, with that Mitt pickup in the Spiral Cave here, that is go mode for Gem at right around an hour and 11. Or, I guess technically, yeah, the Master Sword is still needed, which he's about to pick up right here, so...
Yeah,
we'll call it 112.
Sure. Oh man, Gem is gonna be so happy when he opens these chests.
Yeah, he's just gonna be like, oh, right.
Ta-da! Now we're in official go mode, and just as you said, right around the 1 hour 12 minutes. Oh, it still decides to check the Hookshot Cave. I mean, another sword upgrade couldn't hurt, right?
I guess that's probably it. I know that, you know, Tempered makes a huge difference in comparison in that you don't have to do spins anymore.
And he grabs a heart piece here to fill out his first row of hearts, at least. Ooh, and there's another heart container. Alright, that wasn't too bad.
Bonus! You can get to a whole 11 hearts.
And off we go to Turtle Rock.
There's Cane of Burna out of Ice Palace.
Yeah, really not paying out for PikaPals here. He decides to leave now that he's found all the items that could be in Ice Palace. Starts over at Sanctuary. I wonder where he's going now. He might check King's Tomb, I guess?
Looks like it.
Yeah, all these overworld checks that Pika has done, they really hurt him this match.
Yeah, it's a shame. It's like we were saying earlier, they're not bad plays, just the wrong ones this time. Like there's, you know, as many seeds where this strategy from Gem is the winning one, there's as many where the one from PikaPals is the winning one.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can't really fault either of our runners. I do have to say I'm a little bit surprised that Pika... I mean, he has 2 crystal dungeons available that he can't actually full clear. I mean, he's still missing the hookshot for Swamp, obviously, but still.
Right. I think ultimately the big routing mistake for him, one could say, is not finishing Desert. Because it's available, and it's a crystal... And so, like, you just get that one out of the way, and yeah.
Yeah, he's making these dives into all the pendant dungeons. Now he's gonna go back to Skull Woods.
Oh, man.
Yeah, and this problems IRL is pointing out in chat. I do think maybe Pika miscounted the items in Desert.
Yeah, that'd be that would definitely lead to this mistake. And Jim gonna sneak through the chain chomp room here unscathed. Very nice.
Yeah, doing a great job so far, only losing half a heart in Turtle Rock. Oh, looks like Gems wants to make it exciting for us.
Yeah, we were left in suspense.
Let's drop him down into the moss fight. Gets a free spin here in the beginning. Still has a little bit of magic left, but not too much. But it looks like a pretty good fight. Oh, wonderful.
Alright, and we're gonna get a pedestal check. It's unfortunate that we know it can't be anything required, but there it is.
Just a little piece of love.
We've got the key here, so there may in fact be something in this chest, but it's just another key. I think that means no laser bridge needed for Jim.
Yeah, which will probably make Gem very happy. He can really just go mode this, and I guess the only real advantage of go moding Turtle Rock is that you maybe get to skip out on laser bridge if you do have a spare key.
Yeah, definitely. And, I mean... Does he go for it anyway for a sword? Nope. It's try next time.
Yeah, I mean, with the quality of the runners that we have here, both Gem and PikaPals, they'll have no problems with a Master Sword Ganon fight. Pika, meanwhile, deciding to bring back the frog. Let's see if the breadsmiths actually are smithing a sword.
He's gonna try the hammer strats here. A slightly trickier menu situation. In fact, he miscounts his hits. An easy thing to do when you get bounced around by the hammer. Oh, and he's gonna, well, I think he's still gotta, well, no, there were no fairies, just bees.
I think he might still have a red potion, right?
Yeah, I think he gets it off of Trinex.
Oh,
Unless he bought one.
Yeah, that's true. I forgot about that.
Yeah. And you can see the tension increasing as he grabs the wall. Let's see. Oh, very nice. Getting a couple hits in there on the swing around, but now he's down to 2 hearts. He's going to have to play very carefully, but gets it done just before sliding into the spike traps.
Alright, my good friends. as the bot in chat is saying, it is time for you guys to get your big key location guesses for Ganon's Tower in there. If you are a sub on any of the speed gaming channels or have donated at least 250 bits, you will be entered into the game for guessing the big key location. As always, we have 22 locations available to us.
Yeah, and you're going to want to make sure you get your numbers in here if you want to be able to pick from the, or get on the leaderboards. So,
Yeah.
unfortunately, things like Torch and Tile Room, you'll have to pick those numbers, which are 3 and 22, respectively. Fans of Bob's Chest, I know that's a popular one. That's number 14, generally. All right, so here we are.
Alright, chest number 1 and 2 are not it. Gets 2 small keys.
And getting that Samaria block on there in style. And Pika finally making the play to the desert. This is going to be...
Yeah,
And,
PikaPals.
Oh, go ahead.
I was just gonna say PikaPals finally making the play that he needs to do.
Right.
Gonna be very unhappy about finding his hookshot here, I'm gonna assume.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he's going to know that he's behind at this point. But to answer a question in chat regarding which guess it takes, not totally sure, but I do know if you look up Herfy Derfy, put in that bang stop command, and that stops entry. Stopped it at when Link walks into the tower because we don't want anybody to start guessing after chests have been opened.
Yeah, we want to keep cheating to a minimum, and people could just watch Gems stream directly and have a little bit of a lead because of the stream delay, so we cut it off as soon as the runners enter G Tower.
Court clarifying something that happened in the Trinex fight where I said it seemed he miscounted his hits. Apparently, oh, there's the big key.
Yep, that was number 8.
Or was it?
There's the flute.
I believe it was number 4.
What?
Wait, was he in the
right side?
Oh, he went right side. Yeah, my bad.
Hell yeah!
Well, very nice.
For once I win.
I was gonna say, and congrats to my co-commentator Herfy.
And I win my own love and adoration.
I don't know. Comms winning sounds. Oh no.
Collusion.
Just picking a random number effectively. Alright, so 1 heart left here as we go into Cannonball Z or Cannonball Run or whatever you might like to call it. He's going to put that cape to work. And we're going to see that safety room here. Fun fact, This is the reason bonks are allowed in the logic of the game. It's because to get to this room, you have to do one. And this is in the vanilla game.
Yep, they expect you to know how to do this, so we also do.
Yeah. I remember not knowing how to do that until I was well into my teens. When the internet was a thing. It was like, this... How do you get here? This is ridiculous. What is there?
Oh man, and Jam making short work of this gauntlet here.
Yeah. And as we said, having just a tiny bit of trouble here in this 4th room, going into the final. Putting that fire rod to work so effectively.
Yeah, absolutely no problem. I'm gonna grab his silvers and Probably shoot these guys in the head. One.
Oh, early on the first, but nails the third, or the second rather, nails the third. Do like that bonk setup though.
Yeah, it's very nice. Still a very clean and quick Lambo 2 fight.
Indeed.
Now making his way up to the first Whiz Road room.
And so that trip to the right side actually does give him obviously time to get those keys. He's going to get a little bit of time back forward up here where he's not even going to have to bother with the mini helmets or anything.
Yeah, I mean, with 4 small keys in your pocket, you're really not worried about anything anymore at this point.
Right.
You might still open a couple chests, or all the chests that are still left, just for the chance of a sword maybe, but you might also not. We don't really know. I mean,
yeah.
At this point, do you feel behind? I guess you always feel behind when you're running a race. I've never ran a race where I didn't feel behind.
Yeah, I mean, he kind of knows what this seed has been, and so there's always that, the sort of congruent feelings of like, okay, well, I feel like I'm doing really well, versus, well, my opponent's probably doing really well too.
Yeah, exactly.
But we do see him grab those 2 chests there. And these guys know each other pretty well running-wise. As we mentioned at the beginning of this run, faced each other in the Entrance Shuffle Tournament Championship, where Gem won.
Alright, so there's only one more chance left for Gem to grab another sword, which will be the last chest here after Trolldorm 2.
And simultaneous explosions as PikaPals takes down Argus and will begin his ascent back up the mountain. And Gem gets just a bomb upgrade from the final chest of the game.
Yeah, weird. So, I'm wondering, does that mean we've seen Skullwoods cleared out? We've seen Ice Palace cleared out by Pika, which both didn't have a sword upgrade.
Swords and Mire?
Sword and Mire and the rest of GT?
Guess so, yeah. There was a bunch of left side that we could see. Getting quite a number of blue balls here on the fight. Down goes Aga 2.
Beautiful.
And I see now that chat brought up, since you won the guessing game, what was your prize? But
yeah, I'm not going to go into any details of what winning my own love and affection means.
It just means good self-esteem.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right. Getting a classic lore line from Ganon here.
Just a little too far up to get the double hit in for the spins.
Right. Yeah, the knockback on that hit against Ganon is tremendous. He'll be very glad to get to the phase where he can just use the silver arrows.
Mm-hmm. Oh, that's a very good position, though.
Yeah, it sure is.
Since he just started phase 2.
Right, gonna hang out inside the fire ring for a bit. So you can go one more spin off. The ring shrinks, and then the cape is activated. Oh, another nice spot too. Just hanging out, getting pushed into the wall, and for no trouble, really. All right. Looks like we're into phase 3 as the teleport counter begins. Not too bad.
Yep, but just now PikaPals entering Ganon's tower on his side.
Not quite getting the hit off in time. Well, I guess needing to spin to get the hits to count to prevent the fire bats.
Yeah, these fire bats, they have a crazy radius. You really gotta be careful if you let them spit out one of those. And yes, good pick, sir. We did find silver arrows. Alright, one more hit, I believe.
Yeah.
Alright, there we go. Oh, well, never mind me. There we go. This should be the last one.
All right. GG Gem winning this race. Well, as long as he crosses the bridge.
Yeah, let's hope he does that and doesn't fall down the hole at the last second.
Yeah. All right. And he wins. First place with an official time of 1 hour, 30 minutes, and 6 seconds. Congrats to him.
Yep, congrats on his win. This secures him his advance into the bracket stages, or the group stages rather.
And it looks like he's ready to go for an interview, so let's bring him in.
Yep.
Gem, congrats, GG.
Thanks.
GG, man.
How about that Death Mountain?
Well, it was nice.
Yeah, how about it? But,
Felt kinda dumb when I left Spiral Cave, but it was a decision between either Spiral Cave or Spec Rock and the stuff there.
right.
Yeah. We were saying it's if you route it in a way that nobody will ever in their life route it, you'll be in good shape. But it's impossible for you to know to like go Spiral Cave first and then jump down and go to the Dark World. It's so weird. Nobody ever does that.
Yeah.
But still, very nicely played. It was a pleasure to watch. You made all the right decisions, really. There's not even any specific thing that I remember where I was like, what is Gem doing here?
I could have skipped Left Side Swamp.
Yeah, well, okay, yeah. We were lamenting that a little bit because...
Mostly just because of your original file names, yeah.
Well, to be fair, when I told you originally to fix your file names, they said left, skip, skip.
Yeah, because I intended to not skip the Ice Rod this time.
Gotcha.
Oh, you were skip on the left side skip. Now I get it.
Yeah. Quite. Huh. Yeah, so it was like an hour and almost 10 for your first sword, and you were done in an hour and 30. So, nice job.
Yeah, at some point I was just like, come on, game, just give me the sword already.
Yeah. It's like, I know Skullwoods is pendant, but come on. It's like, no, all the swords in behind Ice Armos and the big key in Ganon's Tower.
Oh.
Yeah, we were really wondering. I mean, you found your first sword and then the Master Sword in like 1 minute or something.
Yeah.
But PikaPals has fully cleared Skullwoods and also cleared Ice Palace of items, and we still haven't seen a third sword.
Oh, damn.
Mm-hmm.
So at this point, we're thinking
he just beat Lambo too, so...
Yeah.
Yeah.
Really, I would say you guys were super close for a long while. He went up Death Mountain a little earlier than you did, but he didn't have the hookshot because he really put off finishing up Desert for a long time. He checked a ton of overworld spots. He brought the frog bag. He checked the tablets. He did a lot of overworld stuff before he went back into Desert.
He even did Ice and Skull.
Yeah.
So we were wondering if maybe it was a miscount or something, but yeah. Either way, that divergence early, well, not terribly early, but for you to get in the desert ended up being all the difference, it seemed like.
Yeah, I wasn't really sure whether I really should go to desert at that point, because Flute might just be up on that mountain, and it would be a 30-second time save.
Right.
But I figured I really wanted the mids before I go up that mountain, so I can full clear it. Well, except I didn't have the hookshot, but yeah, for the most part, full clear it anyway.
Right. Yeah, and then turned out that Death Mountain was just holding all the pieces to finish Death Mountain, so...
Yeah. Yeah, when I got the hookshot,
No
I
big
just
deal.
thought, alright, I'll finish Swamp, and then if the rest is on Death Mountain, I can just go straight to GT. And that's what happened. So that was pretty nice.
Yeah, it definitely worked out huge. So, yeah, securing your next stage of the tournament, pretty exciting.
Yeah, very happy about that.
Yeah.
I'm glad I can avoid the tiebreaker race.
Yeah,
Right.
I can imagine
Yeah.
that. It's shaping up to be quite the crazy race with a lot of good competition in there.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
when you're picking 32 people out of this pool, you're gonna have some doozies.
So we were mentioning at the beginning and a little bit during the race that you just recently won the entrance shuffle tournament against PikaPals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This pairing right here is pretty funny.
Yeah.
Mhm. Okay, so PikaPals is now on his Aga 2. And I don't think he checked many different spots from you, Gem, and Ganon's Tower, since he still also does not have a better sword than Master Sword.
Yeah, I
So,
think he
uh,
pulled the
That's
same
pretty
thing.
funny, I think. Yeah.
Yeah, it was like the, second thing left side?
Yeah. In
Yeah,
the Southwest room, yeah.
and he'll be dropping into his Ganon fight momentarily, but any other big highlights, favorite parts of the run? Anything you were especially proud of? I would say there's a lot, but...
Well, my artist fight is something I'm not proud of, but
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, having to do it with where really the boss is the menu itself.
yeah.
You know?
I was trying to go for double pulls of the puffs and then to kill two at once with the hammer. But I just
Oh,
couldn't get
gotcha.
it, and then I gave up.
Yeah,
So the start
that's
was
tough to
pretty
do. Yeah.
messy. Yeah. Other than that, yeah, I'm really happy I finally managed to get the quick kill on Amos.
Oh yeah.
I've been messing that up every time.
Oh, it's tricky. I mean, you only have a very little bit of time there, and then with the way they hop, like there's just a certain spot, you know. But I mean, you know,
Yeah.
'cause you nailed it.
It's just, I feel like I shouldn't have that much trouble with it, but
Yeah.
But yeah, as I was saying, it was an absolute pleasure watching your match. You did great. All the routing choices paid off. And as our tracker here, Dude is putting the links in the channel. If you enjoyed what you saw from Gem and from PikaPals today, make sure to throw these guys a follow.
Yeah, definitely do. And I mean, you've seen obviously Gem whooping up the seed. PikaPals pretty much whooping it up too, just not making that play to Desert. Like, there's plenty more of this to see from both of these guys. And when we get PikaPals in here, you know, I'm gonna be sure to tell him he's got another chance next week. So to avoid that tiebreaker race.
Yeah, I mean, with 3 wins in the bag already, you're in a pretty good spot, I would say. It's not gonna get easier, but etching out that 4th win is not impossible.
Yeah, and I think it'll be definitely not unreasonable to think that Pika's gonna pick it up next week as he finishes off the big pig. GG's to him.
GG's to Pika for finishing. Let's just make sure he gets over the bridge safely, and he does, and he finishes with an official SRL time of 1 hour 39 and 14 seconds, so pretty much 9 minutes after Gem.
Yeah.
Barely a difference, really, at this point in the game.
Indeed. Well,
let's see if we can grab Pika for a post-game interview.
Yeah, it looks like he's ready to go. PikaPals, GG.
Hey, GG.
Yeah,
GG, man.
tough break on desert.
Yeah, I swear, every time I play Gem, I miss literally one location. That kills me.
Oh man.
Yeah, I can't imagine.
Uh,
But yeah, I just completely forgot that I hadn't actually finished Desert yet. So I was
Gotcha.
looking at my list and was like, oh, okay, I've completed everything except Swamp, so I guess I should try out Ice.
right, and unfortunately, not the play to be made this time. But yeah, honestly, apart from that, it was a very good run. Like even in the places where you might say, "Oh, I shouldn't have been there," at least you were doing them well. Like,
Yeah, like, it all felt fine. Like, I wasn't upset with my play or anything, just,
right,
forgot that one place. It
Right.
happens.
Yeah, that's always a little painful, but as Epi said, it was still absolutely a pleasure to watch, and you guys are both runners of really high caliber. I mean, you weren't in the entrance shuffle final for nothing, and you didn't make it to 3-1 for nothing. So, yeah, I know it's kind of painful, but I do hope you don't feel too bad about the loss.
Yeah, and if nothing else, I think you still got pretty strong chances of being able to skip the massive 3-3 race next week, picking up a win.
I mean, I hope so. 3-2 is deadly right now.
Yeah, 3-2 is a little bit scary, but I mean, as I just said, from the quality of play we saw here, there's
Well, I'll say this: it just got scarier because PikaPals is in that pool too.
yeah, that's a very good way of putting it, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, it would have been scarier anyway. Gem would have been up down there otherwise.
you know what? That's a good point. Both of you guys are just absolutely solid.
Yeah, I think for the sake of the tiebreaker runners, we should just give you both a win and call it a day, right?
That would be nice.
But any other thoughts on the run, guys?
Well, it was a nice and fast seed.
Yeah.
For the most part.
That it was.
Yeah, it would have been really nice and fast if you don't forget something.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Yeah, I mean, all things considered, the 139, that's fast on most seeds anyway, so.
Yeah, and considering how much more overwhelmed you check Pika, being only 9 minutes behind Gem in this is still amazing to me.
Yeah, I mean, this might come off the wrong way, but it felt like you did 9 or more than 9 minutes of other stuff. So it feels like you definitely started gaining some time back by the end.
Yeah, honestly, I kind of felt the same way. Like, it felt like I had lost, like, at least between 5 and 10 minutes, maybe more, doing all that extra stuff instead of just going to finish Desert.
Yeah, so definitely made the best of what was there. And I think you've still got high hopes for the rest of this tournament.
Well, guys, if you want to give any final thoughts or shoutouts, now's your chance.
Thanks for commentating. Thanks to Dude for tracking. Thanks for the race picker, and thanks to Fiesel for restreaming this. There's a bunch of thanks for everyone.
Absolutely.
Thanks for commentating, and good luck on your next match, Gem.
Yeah, you too. I hope you make it to the 4-2, so you can avoid the tiebreaker.
I will try. I haven't had my tournament race against Andy yet this tournament, so that'll have to happen first.
I think that's perhaps in the cards based on some sharings in chat. So go get them. And thank you guys for the great run. It's always a pleasure to watch and a pleasure to commentate. As was mentioned by Jim, shout outs to our tracker, dude. And Feasel for putting together the restream. Thank you, chat, for sticking in. And of course, thank you, Herfy Durfy. Always a lot of fun.
Yeah, same to you. I'm just gonna make it quick and thank everyone that you just thanked. And I hope you guys had fun.
Indeed. And if you're looking for some more Randomizer, we got a match that's about 50 minutes in on Speed Gaming 1. 5:30, come back to Speed Gaming 2, and then 7 o'clock back on Speed Gaming 1. So some rando to finish off your Saturday evening.
Yep, there's definitely more rando to come for you guys.
But all right, well, I've been Epibliticus.
And I've been Herfy Durfy, and I hope you guys have a great night.
Yep, good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.